Welcome to the Lakeshore Christian Church Midweek Podcast. I'm Pastor Randy Cordell. We're coming to you live from our studio at our Antioch campus in Nashville, Tennessee. We're happy to have you joining us today. If you haven't already done so, we'd love for you to become a subscriber. Just hit that subscribe button, and you might want to hit that notification bell also so that you get notified each time a new episode drops. We come to you live at noon on Wednesdays, but we know not everybody can join at that time, so once it's posted, you can listen to it anytime after that on most popular podcast platforms. Each week on the podcast, normally we talk a little bit about the message series that we're in here at Lakeshore, and we are in a series right now called A Life Well Lived. It's our theme for November, and as a part of that theme, I wanted us to hear from some of the people we've partnered with and organizations we've partnered with to have a life well lived by blessing other people in the ways we can, working together as brothers and sisters in Christ. And I am happy today that we can feature my good friend, Brian Sweatt. I've known Brian for a long time. That's one of the benefits of being in a ministry for a long time. I've been here over 33 years now, and we get to connect with each other and work together over the years. And we've known Brian for a long time, and he's a great guy. He's with our church ministries, and he's here today to talk about Mechanics on a Mission, an organization that we have been very excited to partner with. I think we've partnered on 6 vehicles now.
6 vehicles.
Yeah, that's really great. But I know not everybody knows about this ministry. We've talked about it some here at Lakeshore, but I wanted to welcome Brian to the podcast so that he could tell us more and inform everybody about what this partnership is about, what they do at Mechanics on a Mission. So welcome, Brian. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. We really love Lakeshore Christian, what you guys do in our community and have done for such a long time.
Thanks, man. Well, I want everybody to hear more because I love what you're doing with Mechanics on a Mission. So tell us a little about what is the gist of what you do with Mechanics on a Mission, and then we'll talk about maybe how you got started with that.
Awesome. Yeah. So at Mechanics on a Mission, we battle transportation insecurity by providing free cars and free car repairs for people in our community in need, focusing on military veterans, single moms and dads, widows, widowers, and really just those in the community that don't have a means or a way to get to work, to be able to then make money so they can feed their kids, keep a roof over their head. As you know, we have a big homeless problem here in Nashville, so we're trying to be that intermediary to keep people in their housing and with a vehicle so they don't end up being a part of that additional problem that we have to deal with.
Absolutely. People don't always think about that as one of the keys to maybe preventing homelessness or helping people get back on their feet and get started again with their lives, because if you don't have transportation to and from work, it's just almost impossible. You're just fighting a losing battle, aren't you? Yeah.
Well, and unfortunately, in Middle Tennessee, our public transportation is almost non-existent. I know they're doing the best that they can, but it just, unless you're on a line with both your house and work, it's very, very difficult. We gave a car recently away to a gentleman who was spending 2 hours and 45 minutes to get to work on 3 different bus lines, and that 245 minutes to get home, plus some working hours. So we gave him his life back. Yeah. You know, he got so much of his life to recapture by getting a vehicle. Now he drives to work, and he's there in 30 minutes. So
yeah, I know the personal stories of the ones we've partnered with you on, and I've just seen the difference that it's made in so many people's lives, and they are all truly grateful, and they all have that desire to pay it forward after they are blessed that way.
Well, we always remind them about that. It's truly a life-changing gift, and when you have, someone be able to love you enough, and we want to show people love Jesus in a real way. Yeah. Not just say we're going to pray for you. We're going to meet a need, just like Jesus did in his ministry. He met a physical, social, or emotional need to meet that spiritual need. And I think, the old adage, no one cares how much you know to know how much you care. And this is a way we can partner together to care for people and show them, hey, not only are we going to say, hey, we're going to pray for you, but we're going to give you this life-changing gift. And I remind them all the time, I say, I know you're probably not right now in that position to pay it forward, but you will be. Yeah. God's going to put you in that position, whether it's 5 months from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, but when he gives you that opportunity, make sure you pay it forward, and they certainly do that.
Absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit of what led you to that. How did you get started with this concept of being able to give cars to people to bless them in that way.
Yeah, it is definitely an exciting. Anytime you're trying to live for the Lord the best you can, it's always an exciting adventure.
Yeah.
You never know where it's going to take you. You know, for 17 years, I was the head of school just right here in Antioch at Lighthouse Christian School and Preschool. That's where we became friends and started serving together here in this Antioch community. And you know, after 17 years, God made it clear to me and my wife that it was time for us for that next chapter in life. We weren't sure exactly what that was, but we were approached by some Lighthouse parents who said, "Hey, we want you to start a church and a nonprofit." And the nonprofit sounded really good to me. The church, like, I just don't think that's what I want to do. So thank you so much. We got so many great churches, but thank you so much for the offer. I think we're going to pass. But Jamie and Carly Noe, who founded this with us, one of their direct mentors is Bob Goff, the inspirational author and speaker. And so
I love his stuff.
Love Does, very impactful book of me. Other than the Bible, I think Love Does is probably the next most impactful book about just getting out. If you love people, you go out and you actually do. Faith without works is dead. So really trying to live that out. But they had a meeting after we turned them down. They literally flew out to San Diego to spend some time with Bob and his wife. They reframed it a little bit more into a small group and nonprofit and said, "Hey, can we talk to you again?" And with the reframing, we said, "Hey, maybe we could do that." Well, I said maybe we can do that. My wife looked at me, we got in the car and go, "What did you just do? What did you just agree to?" I was like, oops, I'm so sorry. I got so excited. But, God certainly brought us together. And so we started a small group where it was designed to really just go find needs in Middle Tennessee and meet it with the nonprofit and the small group. And then, meet on Sunday mornings to encourage each other. Well, God knew things that I didn't, and obviously it's become a small church, along with that small group and then the nonprofit. And we're named our church ministries. We meet at Rosso Constructors. One of the reasons we wanted to meet a place that would allow us to use their building is because we didn't want to build a building. Because a small group like ours, that's what we'd be paying for. We wanted to really take our resources, the limited resource we have, and give it away. And it about a year and a half in, my son and Jamie's son came to us, and one of their friends had been driving home one night on a really rainy day. He had an old 97 Ford Ranger, and someone forced him off the road. He was okay, praise the Lord, but his truck was totaled. He'd also been very sick, had lost 60 pounds. His mother was a teacher at the school, so I knew their situation, and they came to us and said, "Hey, can we give our friend a car?" And when your boys are asking you that, at 17 years old, you're like, "Yeah, we can do that." That certainly fits with that. So we got a car. We gave them the keys, and one day after school, they gave their friend this car. We weren't even out. We were there. We were sitting back. We wanted to see it, so we kind of parked way back and watched. And of course, we're all bawling, all of us, our wives, and Jamie, Carly, me, and Barbara. And it was just beautiful to see that. And then soon after, and I don't know the exact timeline, but right in there, the tornadoes hit Hopkinsville. And Jamie was born in Hopkinsville, so we did a couple cars over in Hopkinsville where we knew some needs, and so we called up some dealers and we paid for the cars. We didn't even get to be a part of those giveaways either. So the first ones we weren't even there. But we realized right away as we looked around that God had put the chief operating partners and general manager of Nelson Mazda in our lives. They're really inner circle guys with me. Chad and Randy and James are amazing men. Ryan Adams, who's one of the managers at Tire World, Andrew Slemp, who owns one of the Christian Brothers, and said, "Hey, there's a real need in our community for transportation, and not many people are working in this space." And with who God's assembled, as we look around, we're going, I think maybe this is what we're supposed to do. I'm so sure about it because it's super expensive, as you can imagine. But here we are. We just celebrated on October 19th our 100th car giveaway.
Wow.
And so that was amazing. We've now given away 102. And, they say the rest is history. The rest of the story, here we are, 102 cars later. It just mind's blown at what God's done. It kind of exploded on us, but he's given us that capacity and ability and resources to be able to meet those needs.
And that's the way God works when people say yes to just start. Let's just do something here. And he can multiply that so many times. Like the kid with his lunch where they fed the thousands of people, right? He just said, here's my lunch.
That's really what it's like. We need another car. And I go out to the mailbox and there's a check. And like somebody I wasn't even expecting. I went to Nelson Mazda the other day, and they'll probably get mad at me for saying this, but they hand me an envelope. And I go home, open it up. And it's $15,000.
Wow!
Like, holy moly! It's like that's all a God thing. Unasked, not solicited. Just hey, we love what you're doing. Yeah,
that's got to be a God thing. There's no other explanation for it. So, well, I know that I didn't get to come to the event you had. Something came up. I had really wanted to be there. But tell us a little bit about that event. It was a fundraiser, but it was an exciting thing there with all the cars that people got to see there. Tell us about that. Yeah.
So it wasn't a fundraiser. What we did was we wanted to honor our Texan mechanics and partners. So it was really, we just invested some money. It wasn't going to do anything for the 100-car giveaway, and several of the folks reached out to me and said, hey, we really need to do something, especially for those who make this happen. Right. We work with all the area Christian Brothers, all the area Tire Worlds, both Nelson Mazdas, City Auto, Sanctuary Automotive, First Chance Tire and Brake, Godspeed. So we've got a lot of people, professional Tex mechanics that work with us, but they're often behind the scenes. So we just threw a big party that included a cars and coffee, and we got to go over to Monarch showroom in Franklin, and they probably have 80 of their own cars that are just unbelievable. And then the Harpeth Car Club brought out their cars, including a $3 million Bugatti.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was like, well, that we probably had, and we had probably 120 cars inside the Monarch showroom, as many cars outside, and just hundreds of $1 million worth of cars. It was just crazy. So these guys who are, working on cars obviously love cars, so they got to come. We provided breakfast and coffee. We provided lunch for them. We gave everybody when they came in, they got a T-shirt, but then they also got to pick between one of our jackets and one of the sweatshirts I have on, so we gave them a gift. We had people there giving massages. We had face painting for the kids, full-size candy bars so the kids could come and do Halloween. We just really tried to do something where we said, hey, we appreciate you, we see you, we value you, and we realize we couldn't do what we do without you. Your skills, your abilities that you are giving to the Lord, whether you know it or not, has been truly impactful. And, we mentioned the car giveaways, but we also do car repairs.
Right.
And we've done about 400 car repairs, so 4 times as many car repairs as we do car giveaways. That doesn't get all the attention. It kind of goes sometimes under the radar, but it's been amazing to see those guys. And what's been really cool when those guys get to give the keys or talk to the person that they're helping and serving, and how that impacts them.
Absolutely. I know one of the greatest things I see with what you're doing is those partnerships between all these different individuals and organizations that are working together. So let's talk about, I know you mentioned them already, but let's mention them again, because they need to be mentioned. They're contributing so much. So tell us again who all's partnering in this.
So all the area Christian Brothers, which includes Mount Juliet, Hendersonville, both Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and Brentwood. Area Tire Worlds, which is Laverne, Smyrna, Murfreesboro. City Auto in Murfreesboro, Nelson Mazda, Murfreesboro, Cool Springs, Sanctuary Automotive in Nolensville, and First Chance Tire and Brake in Laverne, and then Godspeed, which is also in Nolensville.
Right. Man, that's amazing. I know there's another partnership there that's pretty cool, too. When you present the car to the person, it always has some things inside the car. Tell us about that.
That's great. One thing that we want to include in every car is a Bible. And so we have a Bible that sits on every dash, and that's the light unto our feet, and light unto our path. And so it's really guides and directs us. We want to have that, but also One Generation Away, Chris and Elaine Whitney, Scott Lucas, our good friends over there. They provide a doorstep pantry bag of food, because really the 3 main needs of people in cities like this are going to be food, housing, and transportation.
Right.
And so we're at least going to try to address 2 of them. And so they generously donate a bag of food, a really good bag of groceries every time that we get to put in the car. And that's always really special.
It is. And I love the way God orchestrated this, because all of those combined really is what can keep a person on their feet or get them back on their feet. And I don't know, I wasn't aware of anybody else really with this niche of the transportation. So God just put something on your heart, through those circumstances, because he knew that was a niche that had to be filled in order for people to get back on their feet or stay employed and do take care of their families. And so I love that was something, so many times we duplicate maybe work that different organizations do some of the same things. And that's not all bad, but I like working together as much as we can. But then when there's something that no other organization is really addressing, then that is one of those keys that really makes a huge difference. So I'm just glad God laid this on your heart and the heart of those that are partnering with you.
And there is one other ministry in town that does some of that, and I've met over there with Dustin, and they've been super helpful. Church of the City does a car program too, which is good. But there's again a huge void in this space. And like I said, we really didn't want to recreate the wheel, but there was such a void in this space. We realized we need to step into it.
Yeah, man, that's great. Well, I know that maybe with our listeners, there may be some people interested in two things. Maybe they know of a need, but the other thing is maybe there's a way they could help, and maybe financially or some other way. Tell us about what opportunity would there be for organizations or for individuals maybe to help out here.
Yeah. So the three biggest that I always try to focus on, first is pray. Everyone can pray. You don't have to have $1 to be able to pray. The second thing is if you have a vehicle that you are looking at trading into a dealership and may get $500 to $1,000, we can give you, we're a 501c3, we can give you a tax donation letter, and donating a vehicle to us, particularly if it's viable, is like writing us a check.
Right.
And then the other thing that we're really working on right now, you can go to mechanicsonAmission.com and hit the donate now button, but we're looking to get some recurring monthly donors.
Yeah.
Our giveaway program right now, everyone's really attracted to that, and they're helping us fund that, and that's going pretty well. The repairs, which again we do so many more, are pretty expensive, and we need to get that funded more. We want to use that through the monthly donor, and so we're hoping to add another 50 monthly donors. It could be $20 a month, cup of coffee. A week, and not even a day. If you did a day, it might be $500
depending on where you're buying your
month.
Coffee, right?
Exactly. I went to Starbucks the other day. I got one cup of coffee, went $8. I'm like, what in the world? But anyways, so it could be any level. We have people at all different levels, but anything would make a difference, especially if they just say, we'll click recurring and just forget about it and let that go and help. And right now, we are a 100% volunteer organization. Probably can't always stay that way. So right now, $1 ins, $1 out.
Yeah.
There's very little overhead in what we do. Everyone gets paid, but like the mechanics are getting paid by their shop.
Yeah.
I get paid by the church. Now I spend about 85% of my time on Mechanics on Mission. My church is very gracious to me. Our church ministry is an amazing group of people, and almost everyone there has a role within Mechanics on a Mission because they're seeing how life-changing it is. And we just wanted to love our neighbor as ourselves. And I know you guys do that and do that well, and that's one reason why we partner so well together.
Yeah, I love it. Well, the individuals I've met that work with this they have a heart for it. They're passionate about it, and it shows. And the people that are blessed by it, they feel that from the people, from you and everybody else there, the mechanics, everybody that's part of that.
Well, you never know on the giveaway. Is it going to be one where people are rejoicing and celebrating, or we balling?
Yeah.
So it's always so much emotional energy because of really how the person reacts. Some react with great, and even when they're bawling, it's joy.
Yeah.
It's there's just so much emotion tied to it that sometimes I walk away from there. First of all, I'm super blessed. I feel I'm way more blessed than recipient, but I also walk away there emotionally exhausted at times.
I know that feeling too, and I have witnessed some of the bawling presentations, and it was hard for me to hold it together most of the time. So I love it though. Well, man, I really appreciate you being here today. And if people are wanting to help out in some way, mechanicsonmission.com
or .org, we have them both, so they both go to the same place.
Good. We'll post that on the show notes as well. If anybody wants to follow up with you on that in any way, I know. The flow of cars donated really helps a lot. So if you've got a vehicle that could be a part of that, man, that's a great way to step in there and help out. And then, of course, the recurring monthly gifts would be a great way too. So,
Randy, can I mention one more thing?
Sure.
Just how people could apply to get a car.
All right.
We go through nonprofits, charities, organizations, ministries. So a person can't come to us and say, hey, I need a car. But if they're attending here at Lakeshore Christian, you can reach out on their behalf.
All right.
And so on the website, they can go there too where it says contact us, but it has to come through a referral through a ministry, church, nonprofit, charity. That just helps people so they know, hey, we want them connected with a group like yours because we know that you're going to continue to walk with them. Sometimes we only show up one time, but you'll continue to walk with them, disciple them, and help them be able to be successful.
Yeah, I love that. Being connected to a body of Christ in some way is so much a part of them getting to where they need to be too.
Right.
And I love that you're wanting them to come through something like that. That's great. Well, Brian, thank you so much for joining us today. It's always good to spend time with you and hear more about the good work that you're doing. And I know you are a busy man, so working out some time to be here today was a big deal for us. And I've just enjoyed being around the joy that you have as a friend. It encourages me too. So thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Pleasure being here.
Thanks, man. We appreciate all of you being here today. Before we go, I just want to remind you of a few things coming up here at Lakeshore. This weekend, of course, we're celebrating Veterans Day weekend. We're going to be recognizing the veterans that are with us at service, so we'd love for you to come. If you're in the area, be with us in person. We want to thank you and pray over you as veterans for the service that you've given to our country. Thank you very much. And then we've got a few other things going on. Right now, we're in the process of outreach with Youth for Christ here in Nashville. We partner with them quite a bit, and here at the Antioch campus, we have a giving tree that they've set up with ornaments on it that you can take one of those ornaments, go purchase what's on that ornament, bring it back with the ornament, and then Youth for Christ make sure it gets to the person that needs to help with what you've purchased there. You can help out with that by just taking one of those ornaments from the lobby here at the Antioch campus. And then our Smyrna campus, we're partnering with Smyrna Elementary School for their stocking drive, Eagle Tree stocking drive, and you can purchase one of those. And then through the school there, they reach out to get needs met with students and families there in the school. So we love for you to help out with those things leading up to the Christmas celebration. That's a great way for us to give back to others. We are also very excited. We are celebrating a big year here at Lakeshore. It is our 50th anniversary year as a church. And so we've had celebrations kind of going on all year long, but we have a special celebration happening on November the 16th and 17th, that Saturday night and Sunday. We've invited everybody to come and help us celebrate 50 years. Some of the people that have been here at Lakeshore over the years are going to come back and visit with us again that maybe have moved away to other areas, so we're happy to welcome them back. And we're going to recognize especially those that have been with us long term, helping make ministry possible here at Lakeshore. It'll be great music and great celebration. So it'll be Saturday night at 6 p.m. for that service. And then on Sunday mornings, our regular service times, we have at Antioch campus here, we have a 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. service. At the Smyrna campus, we have a 10 a.m. service. We do live stream our services. We're probably going to live stream that Saturday night event as well. But every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. we live stream our services. So if you can't be with us in person, we'd love for you to connect with us online. But we'd love to see you in person if possible. One more thing too, real quick. If you have a teenager or a high schooler, we are taking a group to the Tennessee Christian Teen Convention in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That's January the 10th and the 11th. But you've got to get your high schooler registered soon because that event fills up pretty quickly. So make sure you go ahead and get them registered for that. You can do that on our website, lakeshorechristian.com, or at the kiosk of any of our campuses there. We'd love for you to get that high schooler registered in advance for that. We want to thank you again for joining us today. We look forward to connecting with you any way we can in the future as we continue to connect, grow, and serve here at Lakeshore Christian Church.